So a right twisted knit stitch gives you this angle here. Left twisted stitch, this is the appearance that is created. So how do we create the right twisted Tunisian knit stitch? Well, I've just got a swatch here that is Tunisian knit stitch as normal, and I've indicated with my stitch marker where I want my twisted stitch to be. So I'm going to continue with my knit stitch until I reach 2 vertical bars before I want my stitch, which would be here. Stitch 1, 2. Now I'm going to invert my hook and pull the vertical bar up and over the skipped vertical bar and insert it as I would a Tunisian knit stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. And then because I have skipped a stitch, I need to make that up. So I found the best way to do this is by creating a Tunisian knit stitch using the horizontal bar. Some people, it's a bit like a full stitch, Tunisian full stitch, but we'll say it's a Tunisian knit stitch using the horizontal bar. And then I would continue my row as normal. So I'm on the second row, and to make a continuous line of right twisted Tunisian stitches, your twisted stitch will be made 1 stitch earlier than the stitch of the row before. So the stitch was made from this vertical bar. This time it will be made on this vertical bar. So I continue as normal until I get 2 vertical bars before I'm going to make the stitch. Okay, so I'm going to make it there. This is the vertical bar I'm going to skip. So I insert my hook, pull up that vertical bar and slip it over the vertical bar I've skipped, and insert my hook as I would a Tunisian knit stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop. And then because I skipped a stitch, I need to make that up by doing a Tunisian knit stitch using the horizontal bar. And then you continue as you normally would with your Tunisian knit stitches until you reach the end of the row. Okay, so if I remove the stitch marker, it becomes easy to see that that is the pattern that is being created. We'll do one more row. So again, this will become my twisted stitch. So I want to stop here, and this will be the vertical bar that I skip. So I continue, and with practice, you soon get very quick at this. Say, invert my hook, pull over that skipped vertical bar and insert as I would a Tunisian knit stitch, yarn over, pull through, make up the stitch I missed, and continue. Okay, so now it's really beginning to take shape, and you can see that line. And that is a right twisted Tunisian knit stitch. So how do we make the left twisted Tunisian knit stitch? I'm going to put a stitch marker on the stitch that I want to twist. And like the right twisted, you're going to stop 2 vertical bars before the twisted stitch. So I will proceed as normal. And then I stop. And again, this time to make the left twisted, you're going to insert your hook and skip a vertical bar, insert your hook into the next stitch, and Tunisian knit stitch as normal. But now you're going to go back and Tunisian knit stitch into the stitch that you skipped. So into that vertical bar, make sure you go all the way through and yarn and pull up. Okay, so we didn't drop, or we picked back up that skipped vertical bar, so we don't need to do anything here, and we can continue with our Tunisian knit stitches until we reach the end of the row. Okay, so on our third row, we'll continue as normal, Tunisian knit stitch. Until you come to that angled stitch, and it does become very obvious. Tunisian knit stitch into the angled stitch, skip that next vertical bar, Tunisian knit stitch, then go underneath the skipped vertical bar, straight back into the Tunisian knit stitch we just completed, pull up a loop and pull it through and underneath that vertical bar. And then continue until you reach the end of the row. Left twisted Tunisian knit stitch.